She stole the fire core again. So I took ice and built my empire. I thought the end of the world would be fire and chaos. I didn't realize it would be endless ice, and that the person I trusted most would be the one holding the match. My name is Ryan Harper. 3 days before the Great Freeze hit Denver, my girlfriend Brooke and I accidentally activated 2 mysterious core systems. One was the fire core, raw heat and melting power. The other was the ice core, freezing control and preservation. Brooke grabbed first and took the fire core. I got stuck with ice. In that first timeline, the freeze slammed Colorado hard. Temperatures plunged to -40, power died, and the whole state turned into a frozen tomb. But my ice core turned out to be the real MVP. I kept entire neighborhoods alive. People called me a hero. Brooke got jealous, murderously jealous. She waited until I was asleep, stabbed me in the back, and took everything. Then I woke up 3 days before the freeze again, back in our Denver apartment, systems still unclaimed. This time I was going for the fire core. Before I could speak, Brooke snatched it. "I've always been cold-natured, Ryan," she said with that fake sweet smile. "Fire will make me feel better." That's when it clicked. She had regressed too. I played dumb. She put on her innocent act. "Oh no, the freeze is coming. Your ice core is basically useless, babe. But don't worry, I've got the fire core. Just listen to me, and I'll keep you safe." I smiled, nodded, and walked out the door. She tried to stop me, but I left her with one line. "Go get supplies yourself. I've got my own plans." I pulled every dollar I had, 50 grand cash plus 100 grand wired to my phone. Then I cabbed straight to an abandoned cold storage warehouse near the South Platte River. I called my Uncle Mike, the guy who gave me his last half-gallon of diesel in the first loop and lost 2 fingers saving me. I told him to grab his warmest gear and meet me there in 1 hour. While he stood watch, I bought out a bulk grocery warehouse. Rice, flour, oil, dehydrated veggies, ration bars, canned meat, 30 cases of water. I raided a hardware store for insulation, sealant, axes, and crowbars. By the time the delivery trucks arrived, I used my ice core to slice open the warehouse locks and section everything into zones. The system chimed. Ice core absorbed cold source energy. Level 2 unlocked, cryopreserve. I activated it across the whole building. Nothing inside would ever spoil. The freeze hit exactly on schedule. Denver turned into a white hell. Pipes exploded. Power died. Uncle Mike and I were living like kings. Fresh food, clean water from melted snow, sealed warmth. Survivors started showing up. I only let in the ones who could contribute. Dr. Ramirez the medic, Engineer Patel who rigged generators, Chef Morales who stretched our supplies. Our warehouse became the safest spot in the city. Brooke's crew looted a corner store like last time, but everything froze solid and her fire core ran out of fuel in days. They took over an apartment complex, but couldn't keep it warm. A week later she showed up at our door, half frozen, jacket ripped, lips blue. She dropped to her knees. "Ryan, I was wrong. Please let me in. I'll do anything." I cracked the door just enough to see her face. "You said the ice core was useless, Brooke. You said you'd keep me safe. How'd you end up like this?" I told her the rules. Hand over every scrap they looted, clear snow for 12 hours a day, and earn your keep. She screamed, called me heartless, and threatened to burn the place down with her useless fire core. I shut the door. The next 2 weeks her group slowly fell apart outside. Some left and froze. Others tried to raid us at night. We caught them and exiled the whole crew with nothing but a week's worth of rations. Brooke never came back. Survivors later told me she, and what was left of her group, tried to reach the mountains, and were never seen again. Inside the warehouse we kept growing. We turned the cold storage into a real community. Greenhouses under cryopreserve, a small clinic, even a school for the kids. The freeze claimed thousands, but we survived and built something that lasted. Sometimes the best revenge isn't watching someone freeze to death. It's building something they could never touch while they're still out there in the cold, realizing they burned every bridge that could have saved them. Thanks for listening on Hidden Thread Teller. What's your take on this one?